Hey everyone, Father Scarlet here today, bringing you guys another YouTube video. And today, we're going to be looking at two-sentence horror. Just a few disclaimers. This is not like the two-sentence horror of yesteryear, where the stories are silly or just comedy or just written poorly. These stories are actually kind of pretty good, and they also cover a lot of disturbing subject matter. So if things like that are something that you're not comfortable with listening to or watching, then I don't recommend this video for you. But to those who are staying, thank you. I hope you enjoy your stay. I'm so... My grandmother gasped on her deathbed as she gently took my hand in hers and pulled me closer. Before I could lean in to hear her better, the world started spinning, and my body suddenly felt cold and heavy as I looked up at myself, finishing the sentence. Sorry. That is a really good twist right there. I'm sorry, I kept saying over and over again as I suffocated my little sister with a pillow. The next morning I was beaten by our kidnappers by breaking their toy before they got to use it. Wow. That's really dark. I was beyond irritated after my daughter began identifying as a cat, especially when she began referring to my grandchildren as my grandkittens. I ignored her sobs while she clutched the soaking wet bin bag and reminded her that this is the way my father disposed of unwanted kittens. Wow. Man, I remember back in yesteryear where two-sentence horror stories were like, I went to the basement and there was the creature, and the creature did the creature things. These are actually pretty good so far, and I'm really impressed. The teacher told the little children to wait in the closet until the shooting stopped. Then he took aim at the rest of the older kids who were tied to his desk in the front of the class. Parents of Reddit, would you rather have your kid die from cancer or suicide? Edit. Thanks for the comments. I decided to not tell my parents I am sick until it's terminal. Wow. Crazy. I'm kind of speechless. According to Jurassic Park, velociraptors can turn knobs and open doors. I recently discovered they can push buttons too, when I heard my time machine warp away. Wow, okay, see, after like all of those other stories that we've just read so far, this almost made me laugh. We live in surveillance state ruled by the Epstein class. They're coming for our clean air and bombing people to make us look the other way while mating politicians to give them the results their machine learning analysis. In exchange, the politicians removed all the rules, abused privacy and data that were there to protect us civilians. That's not really scary. Wow. Maybe it's true. I don't know. Is it realistic? Yes, but like, I feel like this doesn't really fit like this kind of subreddit. Also, it's more than 2 sentences. No longer able to afford her daughter's cerebral palsy meds, her last resort was OnlyFans. Looking at the amount of zeros in her bank account a few days later, she realized she had hit upon a real niche in the market. I don't understand this one. Is this like saying that the daughter is making the content? But, like, yeah, I don't understand this one. This one is kind of meh. I think something that makes these two-sentence horror stories so compelling is just how much information and context can be provided through such a short medium. If you look back at the good ones, the first sentence is a mystery and then the second sentence reveals something that changes the entire picture of everything and reveals a ton of information without saying much. Nobody was looking when I took the last cookie from the cookie jar. Heaven knows, echoed loudly from above. So this has to be like a joke post. Yeah. He is walking with his daughter along her favorite lake. He didn't know where she came from. She'd been gone for years. This one's good. It's not as strong as the other ones, but it's definitely like, it's alright. It's like, this is kind of the stuff that I first expected when getting onto the subreddit, not the other stuff that was shockingly dark. Why do witches eat little children, Mommy? The little boy said nervously as he was walking away by his grandmother's house. Because that's where we get our power, his grandmother replied as she prepared his friend that he dragged around back for the barbecue. This has 3 sentences, so that automatically disqualifies it from being a 2-sentence horror story. John, the local lunch thief, frothed at the mouth as the rat poison in the chicken Alfredo did its work. Mitch, his coworker, stared on in horror, knowing he never told his wife that there was a lunch thief. Oh. That's good. That is good. It's like, it's not stupidly dark like the other ones, and I use stupidly like as an adjective to talk about how scary or like dark those other stories were, not in a bad way. But man, this is a good one. I like this one a lot. This is probably one of my favorites so far. It's not needlessly dark. It is dark, but like it's not dark in the way that the others were. After receiving visions of impending doom and demons invading my house, I traced multiple sigils and salt around myself and my family. As the flames engulfed my house and transformed the white crystals into a gooey brown liquid, my son informed me of the unfortunate prank he had intended to pull on me. Yeah, that one's not that good. After her psychiatrist warned her that she was having a mental breakdown, she went home and tried to burn her newborn baby because she thought that he was the devil. No matter how much gasoline she threw over him, he did not burn. So, are you like saying that the child was the devil? Another problem with 2-sentence horror stories is that you actually, well, I wouldn't say problem, but it's something that is kind of difficult for 2-sentence horror story writers, is that you only have 2 sentences, so you need to make something that is shocking, scary, and something that people can actually understand. This is an example of one of those things that it's not really easy to understand. Like, is this lady right? Is she wrong? Like it says no matter how much gasoline she threw over him, he did not burn. And it's like, yeah, someone's not gonna burn just because you pour gasoline on them. Like, it's stupid. I'm sorry. This isn't a good post. In 2162, pure sorrow in a bottle is sold over the counter in every ultra market. Being born incapable of naturally producing any emotion and having no souls or selves, we still have to mourn our dead somehow, even in these trying times. I can appreciate the dystopian story. It's not my personal cup of tea, but I can understand that it can be appealing to some. I found the women's underwear and stockings you hid, my girlfriend announced. And you don't have to conceal your kink and suffer. I'm okay with it. Having expected something else entirely, I let go of the rigid grip on the knife in my pocket and rewarded her with my best impression of tearful shame, love, and gratitude. Wow. That's dark. That's a good one too. That's a good one right there. Every night the stars whispered my name just a little louder. The astronomers celebrated when they finally heard them too. I don't know how that's supposed to be scary. I can understand on a cosmic scale, but like, Yeah, actually, no, I don't understand this one at all. Like, I can understand having like random voices from the sky calling your name being scary, but then like the astronomers also hear it too, so that's also validating it, so it's not like you're having some schizo episode. Yeah, I don't understand. Even though I'm a vampire, I've never hurt anybody. The kid begged for mercy as the man in uniform dragged him out of the house. The kid screamed when sunlight fell on him for the first time, but when nothing happened, he looked at the cop with confusion. This reminds me of that one horror story where a person was trapped inside a basement and then like they get out and they're like, why is the ball in the sky so bright or something? I don't remember exactly what it was called, but I'm getting those sort of vibes from here. Please bring my baby boy back to life. He was just an infant, cried the woman to the genie. A cruel smile played across the genie's lip as he replied, if that's really what you wish, Miss Clara, I can easily undo the time traveler's work. This is another one that I don't understand. So it's a genie story, so I kind of automatically assumed that the genie was going to do something cruel when... Oh, wait. Oh, okay. As I was thinking about it, I was like, this doesn't make sense, because firstly, it would just be like, okay. At first I didn't think it made sense because it kind of felt like they were setting up the genie to be like evil, and you know, the classic trope of be careful what you wish for because you might just get it, and then the genie obviously misinterprets your wish to make it terrible. But and that's what I thought they were doing, because of the cruel smile that it said that was on the genie's lip. And he said, I can easily undo the time traveler's work. Now, why would somebody go in time to kill an infant? Obviously, it's because that infant is going to go on to do some pretty horrendous things in the future. So, I think that's actually a pretty good 2-sentence horror story. It is probably the most creative and just like the most interesting from a pure writing standpoint. So I think that is a good way to end off this video. I hope you all enjoyed your stay, but it always comes that time of day when I have to say bye.